Is it inspiration? Is it motivation? Maybe it's a bit of both, but for me, I felt like I was copying. This is the story of my paddle build. The year was 2021, March to be precise. I was watching a Beau Miles short film called Junk Paddle. It's a great story of Beau collecting old wood on his walk to work, and with a few tools he gives the wood a new life as a paddle. I live close to the river and the ideas were coming in faster than the tide. I was inspired. Over the years I've noticed plenty of wood washed up in the mangroves, so I decided I would go find some and make my own paddle. Look what I found. It's beautiful and it's perfect. As I started to film the process, I began to think I was copying his idea. Was I copying, or was I just inspired? Originally I was going to use the same bit of wood for the paddle blade, but I wanted that laminated look. When I found some broken bits of pallets at work, I decided to use them instead. I am looking forward to taking this on a trip down a river. Hopefully the glue holds. Unlike Beau's paddle, mine didn't happen overnight. I live in a unit and the use of power tools after hours is, let's just say, I'm pretty sure there are laws against it. Nor do I even have the tools to complete such a task. Dad, on the other hand, has lots of tools, but they're an hour's drive from my place. I visit often, but generally just to say hello, work on other projects, or maybe I'm just there for dinner. Let's not forget that we had a 4-month-long COVID lockdown in the second half of 2021. When I did go and work on the paddle, it seemed everyone visited at the same time and just wanted to chat. So after many visits, slowly chipping away at the paddle, now, nearly 2 years later, the paddle is finally complete.
Oh, this looks so good.
I've got an audience, this is embarrassing. But I'm here on a very exciting trip. This is a paddle that I've just built, inspired by the one and only Beau Miles. He's I don't know what to say. Yeah, I know, but I can't remember what I was going to talk about. Anyway, it's getting pretty dark now. I think I might continue the story in the morning because it's New Year's Eve and I want to go have a beer around the fire. So this was our first ever canoe camp trip and I didn't really film a lot. The plan was to just enjoy the last day of the year on the water with Sarah and try out the new paddle. The only problem is I didn't really have a story for this video and I thought I could just go out and talk about the paddle. When I went to talk into the camera, I didn't know what to say. How should I start this? I always get a bit... Now, it wasn't till the next day that I realised, apart from the paddle build, there was another story that sort of come about from this experience of this trip. And I want to explain. Have you ever heard of slacklining? I've never tried it, but it's something that I've been thinking about getting into as a hobby. I thought it would be a fun little activity to take on all these bikepacking trips that I go on. On this canoe trip, I met this guy. His name is Darcy. Somehow during the night we started chatting about slacklines, and it turns out he actually had one with him in his kayak. In the morning, the weather was immaculate. We were here with these new friends we had just met, and Darcy was kind enough to set up the slack line and try and teach me how to balance on it.
You want to keep your back straight, and then you're just death scaring the anchor.
Yes, I was shithouse, but it was a pretty cool experience. And to think about it, if I hadn't have watched Beau's video, I wouldn't have made the paddle, I wouldn't have come on this canoe trip, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to try slacklining. I thought for sure I was falling over that way. I genuinely think it's really cool how these little bits of inspiration can like change the trajectory of someone's day or life. It's really cool. I think what I was trying to say is use your inspiration as a bit of a guide and you'll be surprised where it can take you. Absolutely motoring along. To finish this video, I've come back to the place it all started. Right here is where I found that big bit of wood, which is now my paddle shaft. The tide's a little bit high today and I've come in by the canoe, but 2 years ago when I found the wood, I was on foot and that wood was waterlogged, super heavy, and it was an absolute mission to get out of here. I had to battle through all this thick scrub up through the cliffs, all just because I wanted to make my own paddle video. Well, the spot that I found this bit of timber happened to be on the steepest part of the river, and I'm trying to get it up to the track, but it's just all cliffs behind me. I don't know if I've got myself into a silly position. I'll show you all the rocks that I've got to try and navigate around with this massive plank of timber. What a mission. At the time I can remember questioning myself, but now that I'm here with a hand-built paddle, some good memories and what I think is a pretty good story to tell, I think we can all agree that I didn't copy Beau's video, I was just inspired by it, and maybe my video will inspire you. If not, go and watch Beau's video. Yeah, the paddle videos. Fuck, I'm a weirdo. I'm hanging out in mangroves like a freak. The paddle was a success. Pretty happy how it turned out. A little bit heavy, but feels really nice to paddle, so yeah. Thanks for the inspiration, Beau. If I didn't watch your video, I wouldn't have made the paddle, and I probably wouldn't have come on this trip, so cheers. See ya.
Yours.
You want the good one?
No.
You want me to paddle?
Please, I'm dying.
I know.
At least the rain stopped.
This is true.
What is secluded those houses?
Sorry?